Good morning. How are you doing? Hope you're good. How's your week been so far? Man, you know when you put a trainer in a washing machine or a tumble dryer or something that's going round and round and round and you're like boom, boom. That's pretty much how my head still is after Thorpe Park yesterday. Absolutely mental experience, but incredible. And that's one of the themes of today's talk. We're going to be talking a little bit about building relationships. So welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Borman. And if you are coming through, then please do let me know. Also, guys, two things. Number one, if you wouldn't mind sharing this, that would be huge for me. Thank you so much. And the other thing is that we're doing a 5-day challenge for men, right? For those that have done the 5-day challenge, maybe just give a little bit of experience about what you got out of that 5 days in below. And the 5 days really is about helping guys establish more character, more direction, more understanding of themselves, to level up, right? To level up to the next level, to start being healthier, better with relationships, more aware of their career issues, tighter with their personal development, really just to raise their own game and their own standards. All right. So listen, I'm not a relationship counsellor or anything like that. I don't think I know everything about relationships. But I have some understanding about self-awareness. When my big two who I went away with were kids, it was very difficult for me to build relationships with them, because being in the military around that time meant there was a lot of training around being out in Afghanistan. And I remember when my daughter was 7 months or so, something like that, that's when I first went to Afghan. You know, I was kind of away for that 6 months of 2006, just with pre-training, pre-deployment bits and pieces, and the commitment that we had to show to our training and deployment, and then obviously deploying and coming back. And it was very difficult to be able to build that relationship. My son wasn't born by then, but being in the military full stop was really difficult, because if for one weekend we had to do something or something came up, I would then lose like weeks, because like Monday to Friday we're on duty. If I was deployed in Wales or like living in Wales and I missed one weekend, that's 2 weeks before I see them anyway. I got to the point where I wasn't happy with that anymore. And I couldn't imagine doing another 6 to 10 months away from my family. So I left the military. And at the job, at the time, it was a fantastic job. It was one of the best jobs in the world. But I left home because I wanted to build relationships at the time with my children. My dad died when I was 6. I didn't have that relationship with my father that I wanted. And I didn't want the same for them. And I was still alive. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be that weekend dad. So building relationship was really important. And throughout the period of time that I've been a dad, it's evolved, right? That building that relationship has had to mean that I have had to be at my best in terms of self-awareness. Because without that level of self-awareness, I've become very short-sighted. Now, you might recognise this. And that short-sightedness becomes, I've just got to do this with work. I've just got to sort this out. I've just got to go and do this tomorrow, son, or babe, or hubby. And then suddenly what we end up doing is becoming so involved with the chaos of life that we don't take steps out to nurture and build relationships. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do yesterday, and one of the reasons that I wanted to do it, was really bring us together as a 3. Now, we are a family of 5, obviously, but my big 2 come from my previous marriage. And I always, for me, one of the most important things in life is to leave this planet knowing that I've nurtured and giving everything I could in all of my relationships. And because the three of us, I'm just going to sit here a minute because the dogs are going to clatter off. Come here. And because it's so important to me, it's important for me to be aware of, hey, look, I need some quality time just with those 2. Like next week, I've got some quality time with just the younger ones. And as I get older, my thought process evolves to one now of, listen, you need to make sure you put your books down, you put the computer down for a day, and you just go and do some stuff, because you never know when the end is. You never know when something that bad is going to happen. And I would hate to keep putting off things and saying, oh, I wish I took them here, I wish I did more with them here. And that is, we spoke about regret not so long ago. And I think the thought process of not giving everything in a relationship is it comes down to us understanding ourselves better, the way that we communicate with those people, the way that we understand what they're going through, the way that we understand that the consequences of our actions, like without even realising it. I was talking to Jem, and she was like, and I took some time out to spend with her and the baby when they got back from being away for 5 days. She goes, you have your time, and then you usually sacrifice the time that's for us to work or do things that benefit you. And I was like, blimey, I didn't realise that. And without communicating that and talking to that, I never would have realised that. And I never would have thought to myself consciously, wow, I need to start doing more. And we talk about building health and building mental health and emotional health and building our careers up, but we don't ever talk about building our relationships up or nurturing those relationships. You know, for some it's too late, okay, in terms of some people get divorced, but we learn from that. You know, I learned from my relationship. I was awful in my relationship, in that marriage. I was an awful husband to a great woman, and, you know, I'm very fortunate that we can be mates now and have a great relationship in terms of, in terms of, for the kids. I think that's what's really important here. But building that relationship comes down to those two key factors, that the communication and that level of understanding. Those two, communication and understanding. And that is what we have to be making sure that we're doing. Is communicating in the right way, is that we're understanding things in the right way. Oh my God, we've got the whole fucking fleet here. And making sure that we follow up on that and that we are aware of what is going on around us and the people that we are communicating with. It's so important. And I just wanted to come on here, really, if anything, just to raise those levels of self-awareness. You know, I got it yesterday. You know, I was there with the kids, having great banter, having a great laugh, having some great fun. And I was just like, we don't do this enough. I literally don't do this enough. I don't take the time to really get to know these kids. And I probably do, but I'm just probably being hard on myself. And I think today, every single one of you should go away and just kind of like communicate with those kids or with your family or with your partner or someone, and just really make them aware of how appreciative of you are of them, or how much time you want to spend with them, or how amazing it is to be around them, because we don't do it enough, right? We don't do it enough. And this is why being the best version of yourself is so important, because when you are the best version of yourself, you're aware of these things. When you're top of the pyramid, everybody gets the best version of you. They get that time with you. When you don't, it's morning. Here, Jesse, let's go. Jesse. Here. You don't get that. You're not aware of that. I am literally in the most remote part of the beach, and we've had about 5 people walk past with their dogs. I'm just like, what are the chances of that happening? Communication and understanding. See ya.